Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Taco Josh Gaming. It is great to have you. Hope you're doing well. Want to thank you all for watching on this Wednesday morning. Sorry for the late start. I was trying to do a little house cleaning on the characters before I started, just so I didn't bore you. And now we're gonna do a little bit of farming to try and get some of the accessories that we want. Morning, ex-soldier.
If it's in the sky, it's mine. Alpha. That'll bring you down. Crushing flash.
Over so soon?
Way.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Searing blade!
Come one, come all!
Radiant star! Radiant light!
Hold up! Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Retreat if you know what's good for you!
Sword Rain Alpha! It's wide open!
It won't escape me!
Oh yeah.
A fascinating art there. Care to give it a try? No. A little unrefined for my taste.
That?
An opponent like this should be easy. Vacuum Blade!
Here's the blade! In the wind!
Does it hurt?
Feel
Sword Rain Alpha!
More for the stockpile. Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Hi, Hoodle!
Sword Rain Alpha!
You got company!
We did it!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that was improved.
No, I mean you're even better than ever.
Hey, King Leo, hope you're doing well.
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
I'll take you all off! Sword Rain Alpha!
Radiant light! Here, coming through! Oh, really? Thanks, Kisara.
My fists are crushing it out there!
An opponent like this should be easy.
Oh,
Damn it! Sword Rain Alpha!
Radiant here! Not much longer to go.
Come on, one final push.
Let's do this together, Alpha. Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
That's right.
I won't forgive you!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Your blade moves like silk. I just let my instincts take over. How fascinating.
As impressive as always.
If they rush you, you gotta jump
Here I
for
hope
cover,
that was
okay?
improved.
No, I mean you're even better than ever.
Only the best materials in your garments.
You really do have quite the discerning eye, Dohalim.
Yeah, they all kind of look the same to me. Let's see what you've got.
Sword Rain
Hear
Alpha!
my call!
There! We've turned the tables on them.
There are still more
Stay
left.
calm.
Right.
I shall
No
provide
time to hold back.
Air pressure.
I've been doing really... great lately.
No choice.
As impressive as always.
Ah, and here I hoped I was improving.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. We want... I won't forgive you!
Take this!
Lightning!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Lightning Supernova!
Too easy.
So I still had room to grow.
I'm
Is the
gonna
blazing
lose.
sword okay?
A little water's not going to hurt it.
I totally lost my combo. Bah.
You finally made it.
Out of our way!
Between heaven and earth. We did it!
As impressive as always.
Here I hoped I was.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Okay, apparently we're doing over here again because I went the wrong way.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Searing
Grind you into dust!
Lightning orb!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
They're surrounding us!
Sword Rain Alpha! We did it!
As impressive as always.
Blade!
Here I hoped I was improving.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Shion actually look flustered.
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Hi, Hoodle!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm ready!
Come forth, holy glimmer!
Alright.
Wow. Look what I just found.
I think this whole farming thing is going to be pointless for the accessories.
Here I come! Sword Rain Alpha!
Annihilation!
I'll face you. You're mine!
Lightning orb!
I need to be stronger.
I shall ensure you survive this.
Sword Rain Alpha! Vacuum Blade! Next!
As impressive as always.
And here I hoped I was improving.
No, I mean,
I've never seen Shion actually look flustered.
Small, but a victory nonetheless. We have a long way yet to go.
get lost!
Sword Rain Alpha!
You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
I can't imagine.
Who, me? That's a little much, don't you think?
Didn't even break a sweat.
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Sword Rain Alpha!
I thought you were going to wreck the place.
I'm not nearly.
Then I'll provide assistance however I can.
I can feel my power growing!
Izzy, how's it going, buddy?
We should be able to cook here.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Not much longer to go.
Come on, one final push.
Let's do this together.
Hey, Pillfied Savage.
Over so soon?
Ooh, a 5 Opal Savage. That's nice, but not what I'm looking for.
Go no further.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Negative gate.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Nope, didn't want to go there. Or are they in there? Nope, didn't want to go in there.
This should be a good place to fight.
Wow, Kisara. It's so big.
You're...
Hi, Hoodle.
By the power of water.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Small, but a victory nonetheless. We have a long way yet to go.
What's with that shining foe over there?
They're surrounding us.
Reflect.
Sword Rain Alpha!
They smite with lightning.
As impressive as always.
And here I hoped I was improved.
No, I mean, I've never seen Shion actually look flustered.
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Okay. I don't know why it said that this was a place for it.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Right, here goes! I'm not done!
One more. Not much longer to go.
Come on, one final push!
Let's do this together,
Sword Rain
Alpha.
Alpha!
Over so soon?
Little help.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Help this.
We've turned the tables on them.
There are still more left.
Right,
I can't
no time to
imagine
hold
what
back.
we'd do without you, Renwell.
Well, looky here.
Out of our way.
We've turned the tables on them.
There are still more left.
Right, no time to hold back. Sword Rain Alpha! Be careful, everyone.
Alright.
Over so soon?
Go no further.
Sword Rain Alpha! Come and face me! We did it!
As impressive as always.
Here I hoped I was improving.
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good.
Oh, 6 people
We're counting on you,
watching.
Rinwell.
On me?
And here I am trying
I'll
to
do my
farm.
best.
I think I'm going to stop trying to farm and move on to the story.
Excellent technique.
Especially since these guys aren't dropping what I need them to drop.
As impressive as always.
And here I hoped I was improving. A comfortable win.
No choice. Sword Rain Alpha! I'll take you all on! We've turned the tables on them.
There are still
Really,
more
really
left.
strong, Alvin.
I'm just trying.
Still, it's reassuring to have you around.
Barely a blip on our radar.
That enemy looks strong.
Really?
This one's tough.
I shall ensure you
We
survive
turn
this.
the tables on him.
There are still more left. In
Right.
here.
No time to hold back.
Are those mine?
Air pressure.
I've been doing really great lately.
Ooh, I got what I wanted. Alright. Hey Riz, how's it going?
We finally made it.
Sorry guys, just gotta do something real quick here. Sorry guys, just trying to level something up here. I know this is boring. Alright, there we go. Good enough for now.
I'd like
Let's
to check
get on
their
with
wares, if you don't
everything.
mind.
Let's do a quick secondary save before we go to Lenegus.
You finally made it.
Gotta equip the new emblem. Go with Protect Ring for her. Just to have something on her. I never really messed with the accessories, so this is my first time messing with those. Have a good one, Riz.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... Well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Alright, Fell Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegus and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right.
That's all.
Then let's go.
Just those tiny two things.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
You know, their spacecraft
Up
looks like a
here, all
Romulan
the
spacecraft.
struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegus?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get home.
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. You too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said but I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future...
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more... Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life. For as long as I can remember. They called it treatment. But in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up, and that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to...
I'm sorry. I didn't...
No, it's fine.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy?
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery. As if this struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our... If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction...
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting...
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no... How I see it, the true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end.
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only...
Yeah, you're right. No
We
one's
can
ever...
win.
We can do this.
Yay us!
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! Solon...
Hey,
What's got law?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made...
Hey, I never said I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think...
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renin technology.
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay.
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen.
So Law is just like a tool to Alphen, like, yes, Alphen, okay, Alphen. I'll follow you to the ends of the earth, Alphen. Then we got Kisara. Hey,
You
it's
okay?
our old pods.
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all.
These starships are a remarkably smooth ride.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a...
It's a healing pod. It fit...
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any... Alphen?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the... Naori laid me inside.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean... you were inside for 300 years?
Yes. It sounds crazy, I know. But...
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am...
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you...
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill... I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for... The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for... If I've learned anything on this journey, and the one who brought me along was you, Alphen, I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks.
I know. But whatever we find...
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh?
You know, the one thing I gotta say that I'm not a big fan of is we haven't had our, like, big, like, bad guy. Like, we have this red woman that, like, we haven't really met so far. Other than she, like, grabbed up the, like, orb. Like, the cool enemy was, Valron, and he died.
Is everyone
But
about ready? We'll soon be
kinda
making
sucks.
preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know...
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly get...
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis is... what? Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own... Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carry...
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right?
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence. And those
capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass. Denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danon. Keep that...
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What a...
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral art.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around...
Jeez.
Wait a second. Are you?
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts, as if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of...
So this red woman, are we
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to... Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to...
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy.
If there are clues about your thorns out there,
Bumpy ride. I like how they just, like, allowed a ship to land.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
You're a dumbass.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that
Dumb
this
butt.
red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst.
Oh, yeah.
In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Yep.
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
Yep.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renins. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
What in the world?
This being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Yeah.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Do?
Awkward.
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the Wedge original...
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can...
While we're at it, we can ask them about...
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden...
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins
Good idea.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis...
Right. The Danins among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
Yeah.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Whatever did we do?
You really have no clue what might have...
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness, we have no choice, but do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim? I believed he would...
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty.
As your lordship wishes. First, Lenegis mutates beyond recognition. Now this unexpected visit? The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be...
Your good wishes do me an honor.
We got nothing from him. Kill him.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of...
Your lordship! Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red.
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise.
Never mind. Forget I...
Uh-oh. He sure... Hey, Joe. Hey, Hawk. He sure seemed to protest too much.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Hmm? Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home is all. I was
hoping to head this way myself.
I suppose the Sovereign... I daren't stay here too long, though.
A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my well. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how?
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be great.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing.
It's worth investigating. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do
I'll
that
never
for me?
tell her.
A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renin, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information.
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here.
Not to this extent. Which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth. That Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly...
Yeah. That one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to
You like
him.
the graphics of this game, wait till you see the next
People are in
one.
big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely no.
Hold up, what do you get?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renin homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got...
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so... What if something were to happen to the city?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renin ruler.
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Ren. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason? Because...
I can't say for sure.
But that would mean that 2 Sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
So the Red Lady is a maiden?
Off limits to everyone but the Sovereign. That seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. Let's go find it.
I wonder where it could be. Right there.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people... I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld.
But Dohalim was...
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do...
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to... Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing.
Well, yeah, why would to us Danans? They were just enemies we needed to overthrow.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day life...
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too.
Yeah.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of support, and luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which...
Yes! Yes!
He's dead.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
What?
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
I think that's it. You need a marathon play session someday? I tried that and I got to like 4 hours and I was like,
This area
you
doesn't
know.
look as badly damaged as that other district we went.
Pardon me.
She got burned at like a stake.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
Ridiculous. Okay.
I'll see. Maybe I'll try and do some type of marathon play.
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganneth Harrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see that.
Yeah, despite the brutality.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, but their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings...
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Renna.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because...
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we...
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of them?
Yeah. I think Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but...
I know. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. So I guess...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were... Even if they did terrible things?
Renwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan does... I think that's something...
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a
Hello, Shockwave.
There's something I just don't get. The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, in which case the current sovereign of Renna should be whoever it was that won.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory...
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the...
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually...
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown him?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be... But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly,
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Court...
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then.
Go over here. Any treasure chests? Nope, no treasure.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it. First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you
See ya,
peace.
Shockwave.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
That woman has issues. Uh-oh.
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to.
That's
Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Oh, that was the way I went. Red Lady's already gone. That was nice of her. Yay, treasure chest. Dude, it's the Human Torch. It's Squirtle.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on
no
mutual
drummer?
respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renin oppression like before.
And we would have killed him anyways.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, the armor is really cool.
Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but... I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elda Menencia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one. Its armor's too strong.
Split it open!
Be my guest.
My shield!
Vacuum blade!
I'll heal you all.
Pierce! Support!
Healing circle.
Sword Lane Alpha! How about this?
Can't be thwarted. War without Magna Ray.
Sword Lane Alpha!
Can't be thwarted. Annihilation.
Sword Lane Alpha! Vacuum blade!
Magna Ray. Holy
Can't move!
Don't give up.
He who prepares.
Infuse this vanquished soul with love. Resuscitation! We're not finished!
Will this help?
Sword Lane Alpha!
Rage.
Healing circle. Thanks so Thunderblast.
Sorry.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there.
But their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros.
I've never seen anything like that here.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here. And the soul...
What, with the Red Woman? The...
Get lost.
Sword Lane
Chain
Alpha!
between heaven and earth.
Vacuum blade!
A wailing bounty of lightning.
The earth throbs
Where are
with
you
pain.
going?
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
You're mine!
Air thrust. Here I
Vacuum
go.
blade!
Now. Steering lock. Get toasty.
Burst!
Oh yeah.
We got it.
Vacuum blade! Sword Lane Alpha! There!
Lunar corruption.
Megasonic thrust!
Radiant storm. Radiant fear.
Bloody
I'm out of amp 1.
Vacuum blade!
Shield. I'll be safe.
Sword Lane Alpha!
Take it. Got now.
Tempest engulfed here!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
Hello.
Get lost.
Elusive beam! No further! Strike!
Illuminate the dark.
It's over.
Come forth. Not on my
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Gate! Sword Lane Alpha!
Glacial spear.
Megasonic thrust!
Dance in the wind. Breeze lantern. Light out. Magic is it. Air corruption. A chain of blah blah blah. Turbo red. Reload. In here. Warp
Sword Lane
This
Alpha!
one's mine.
Burn in hell! Seismic rupture! Sword Lane Alpha!
Lightning orb.
Megasonic thrust!
Healing circle. Spread. Lightning. Air thrust. Burning
Sword Lane Alpha!
Just hear my call. Spread.
Vacuum blade! Incineration wave!
Excited. Back into the fray!
Dance on the wind!
Illuminate the dark! Annihilate forces!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Holy Land!
Rending you apart!
Here's evil! Freeze Lancer! Divine Savior!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Lunar Corruption!
Vacuum Blade!
Will this help?
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Elusive Deity! Sword Rain Alpha! Eagle Ray!
Bring Astral Energy!
Vacuum
Raising
Blade!
Cascade!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! I'll face you.
Lunar
Take
Corruption!
this!
Lightning Orb!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Here, let me help! Thunder Field!
Denied!
Blood.
First
I
aid!
owe you a
Light Ash Dance in the wind!
Bloody
Not
hell.
on my watch!
I'm ready!
Lost!
Demons descend! Flashing Fang!
Whew.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Out of our way!
Fire in the hole! Bring him down! Sword Rain Alpha! The Tempest engulfs
Lightning
you!
Orb!
Vacuum Blade!
Raging Cascade! Here's
That
evil!
may prove a
Save
thorn
you!
in your side.
My shield! Sword Rain
Air Thrust! Photon Laser!
Art is being interrupted.
Thunderblade!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Mega Ray!
Eagle Ray! Vacuum Blade!
Annihilation!
It's too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up. An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down! Resonate with the earth! No!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Raging Lightning!
Vacuum Blade!
I'm all stumped up! I can handle it!
Elusive Deity! It's
Do it!
there! Soaring Blast!
Chain between Astral Energy!
Say no more!
That's right.
And again!
Scream.
Sword Rain! Rending you apart!
Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Coming through.
Now you'll learn!
Take this.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Raging Cascade!
I'll face you.
Vacuum Blade!
A chain between heaven and flame! How long are we gonna keep this up for exactly?
Take it.
You go!
Eat dirt!
Eagle Ray!
I never miss! Raging Cascade! Seal, will this help?
Try
I'll be
this!
saving this one!
Explosive Ring!
I'm in your debt.
Illuminate the
Reflect.
earth! Holy Land!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Let me help!
Next!
A chain between heaven and
The
earth!
enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Reflect on thy sins. They smite.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Freeze the wind! Air
Dash!
thrust! A chain between heaven and
Sword Rain
earth!
Alpha!
A wailing Banshee annihilation! Now!
There!
I'm all stumped up!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
These guys are nothing.
Could have been worse.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on...
Right, here goes!
Glacial
Sword Rain
Spear!
Alpha!
Here's the
You
evil!
picked the wrong fight!
Does it hurt?
Sword Rain Alpha! Megasonic Thrust!
I think I'll count on the handshake! Here's a healing art!
Explosive Ring!
Can't move.
Don't give up! Radiant here!
On your knees.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Dance on the wind.
Guardian wing! Magic! In here! Water! Here on the earth!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Can't get out of this.
Lightning orb! Burning! This one's mine! Raging Cascade!
Everlasting dark.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Negative death. Another incantation ruined.
Healing you! Holy Land!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Here's evil!
Sword Rain! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Dance on the wind.
Raging Cascade! Chain between heaven and earth!
Sword Rain Alpha!
A wailing not in your dreams! Annihilation!
Air pressure.
Raging Cascade!
Bathed in blood. Rending you apart.
Radiant!
Bloody hell.
Here I come!
Magic!
Now we'll have
Thunderblade!
Benediction light.
Holy Land!
Explosive
Light! Searing flame!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Begin. In a bind.
Lunar blast! Lightning!
Eat dirt!
Light astral annihilation!
Resonate with the earth.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Blah, 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 magic!
On your knees.
Anything in armor is all mine! Reload!
Megasonic Thrust!
Lightning! Nothing gets by me! Out of ammo!
Light.
Pierce!
Back into the light astral annihilation!
Our arts are being interrupted.
This isn't looking good.
Soaring, where are you going? Oh, do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Whew.
Remember to tell me if you... You need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Go no further!
Soaring Alpha! Engaging!
Lightning strike!
Elusive deity! Soaring Alpha! I won't show you any mercy!
Here goes!
Everlasting dark! Soaring Alpha! Negative gate! Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite! Megasonic thrust! Locked in the fire support!
Our arts are being interrupted.
Soaring Alpha!
Oh, violent lightning wind!
Elusive deity! Soaring thrust!
This one!
Megasonic thrust! Explosive ring! Vacuum blade!
Radiant storm! Where was that came from? Pull myself together.
Soaring Alpha!
Light astral here!
Abort! Soaring Alpha!
Take this! Lunar corruption! Now! Gemini Alpha! Kizara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Oh, violent radiant wind! Card now!
Vacuum blade!
Radiant in here!
If it's
in the sky, it's mine! Saving this one!
Resonate with the earth! Vacuum blade!
Reload!
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade!
Whew.
Onward and upward.
Right, here goes!
Where are you going? Illuminate the
Reflect on my
Lunar
sin.
blast!
I'm going in! I see one, eh? Burn in hell!
In
a bind?
Fall back!
Freeze Lancer! Not in your dreams!
I'll face you.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Great healer storm! More
Can
where
you
that
take
came
it?
from!
Denied!
It's on! Death! Sword Rain Alpha!
Flame! Reload!
Megasonic
Illuminate the
Sword Rain Alpha!
A chain between heaven and earth! Unveiling Pantheon Lightning! In here! Radiant here! This is it!
Sword Rain Alpha! Release! We did it!
Heal! More than that! This is in the sky! A chain between heaven and earth! Now! Annihilation! Where are you going? In here! More for the healing art!
We're not finished!
I can handle it! Now! Luna, go blazing! This one's got
There
your
we
name
go.
on it!
Ashes to ashes.
Lunar corruption! Supernova!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Where was that came from? Annihilation!
I'm ready! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yep.
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for. Let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
The red lady's gonna end up being Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all.
Yay,
This whole
information.
time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too, if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you.
Yes, they are.
Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Oh, it's boss fight time. Let's save. Uh-oh.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when...
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to get those noodles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master core?
What the... Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handled the Dougal, then we get some answers.
Go for the weak point!
I'm not done! Sword Rain Alpha!
Radiant Blood! Here! Confiscated!
Vacuum Blade!
Lightning!
I'll face you!
Shining Supernova!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Glacial Spear! Denied!
Here's evil! Dance in the wind!
I'm not done!
Scream bathed in blood.
Rending! Sword Rain Alpha!
Demon
Healing
Land!
Circle! Eagle Blast! Lightning Lunar Corruption! Thunder Blade! Illuminate the combat!
Sword Rain
Annihilation!
Alpha!
Holy
Burn!
Land! Radiant! Where are you going?
Sword Rain
Can't
Alpha!
get out of this!
Vacuum Blade!
I'm all stocked up!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Annihilation!
Demon Land!
Thunder
It's
Field!
weakened!
Eagle Wave!
This ends now!
Gemini Ultra!
Resonate with the
Heaven
earth!
and Earth!
Stalagmite!
A Lunar Corruption!
You're mine!
Raging Kill the Healing Art!
It's over!
First aid!
Take this!
Annihilation!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Can't swirl! By the
Negative
Lord
Jake!
I can handle it!
I'm ready!
In the wind!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Mega Ray!
You're mine!
Annihilation!
No escape!
Mega Ray! A chain by the water! A wailing dancing of lightning!
Save you! Can you take it? Take this!
It's gonna attack!
Far enough! Sleep now!
Eating
I'm not
Here's
done!
evil!
I owe you one!
Freeze Lancer!
Take
Magic
this!
Slam! Crossblade!
It's over!
Confiscated!
Benediction.
Illuminate the dark!
I have no
Holy
limits!
Glimmer!
Allow me to help
Back
you.
into the fray! Mega Ray!
No escape! Sword Rain Alpha!
Bloody hell! Resonate with the earth! Megasonic thrust!
Dance in the wind! Air
This one's mine!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Benediction light.
Heal!
Heal
You're
in the
mine!
wind!
Anything in armor is all mine!
I'll be safe!
Here I
Lunar
come!
corruption!
Ha! Not today!
Lunar blast!
You're mine! Strike!
Will this help?
Sword Rain Alpha! Vacuum Blade!
Lightning can
Sword Rain Alpha!
I can handle it!
Need to pull myself together.
Vacuum Blade!
By the power of water! Holy land!
Soaring
Chain
blast!
between heaven and earth! You got this!
Strike! No escape! Sword Rain Alpha!
No further!
More for the stockpile!
Benediction light.
I'll cover you!
Take this! Heal!
Recover!
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
Shining
We've got him on the run!
Don't get caught!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Dance in the wind!
Still anyone's fight.
By the power of the stockpile! Think again! Illuminate this
You're mine! I'm not done!
Holy land!
Sword Rain Alpha! It's time!
Thanks so much!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I can carve through!
Look sharp, everyone!
Another incantation ruined!
Burning
Benediction light.
That'll bring you down!
Heal! Ha! Burn!
Searing flame!
No escape!
Water! Hear my call!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Red! Breaking storm! Here's where that came from! Freeze!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Being interrupted! Can't get out of this!
Dance in the wind! Downfall! In here! I'll heal you!
This is a nice fight.
I'll be saving this
Rending you
one!
apart!
Bloody
Forgive me.
You'll pay for that! Sword Rain Alpha! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down! Now!
Look!
There we go.
Lightning tiger!
And it's over.
Now it's just her! Varia, can you hear me? Varia!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me. Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
You just hit a
I
woman.
meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You? Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Yeah.
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that.
I told you they dead.
Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past.
She literally said
but
acceptance
for those still alive.
Doesn't work.
For those still
and now
alive.
she's telling them to accept it.
Kisora's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference
Make
in the
up
lives
your
of
mind,
others.
woman.
Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
I don't know how many times they've told him that.
To solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on. What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
The thorns. Hey, Kick. Hey, Sasquatch. It's the thorns. She turned into Venom, didn't she? Whoa, then he turned to evil Elfin. He turned into Super Saiyan Elfin.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her, it reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right?
The only will I know is Will Wheaton.
These visions. I don't know. Should we really be getting so involved with this?
Are they talking about Wesley?
Would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of.
I need more of these astral farts to tell me what's going on.
They may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
Oh.
Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shield. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I just need a little time first.
So apparently this is going to be a big fight. Or a point of no return. You know what that means, guys? I think you know what that means. That means, till next time, play more games. We're going to stop here for today. Cliffhanger. I love doing that to you guys. Hope you have a great day. come back tomorrow for what could be the last boss. I don't know. It could just be a good, huge story point, and they move us to another location. I don't know. Either way, it's gonna be a big thing. So yep. Till next time, play more games and have fun, guys.